soldier for Christ. I'm a soldier. No, they'll never take us under, because we're bringing truth like thunder. Raining on your speakers like a ton of bricks. Hold the cross high, cause
as your baseball coach told you once upon a time, before you die, leave it all out in the field.
That's it.
Absolutely. That's what we want to do, Terry. We want to leave it all out in the field. Talk about somebody leaving it out in the field. I want you to hear a Catholic priest here in the Phoenix Diocese of Arizona. He delivered an incredible homily against abortion to his parishioners last Sunday, telling them that if you're pro-abortion, I'm tempted to ask you to leave St. Henry's Parish and to leave this parish. Mr. Engineer, can you play the clip from Father Billy Costco?
And Jesse, before he plays the clip, if I could just add one more thought, because it's a 30-minute homily, and I want people to go to the link and watch it all, but he makes an incredible connection. He was in Auschwitz in 1993, and when you hear the story on a bus where he had to defend a woman that was attempted rape on the bus, man, you got to hear what this priest did. And then he makes the connection being in Auschwitz and seeing what was going on. That Auschwitz town was only 2 miles away from the death camp. And in July of 1944, it started to snow in Poland and in Germany there, or Poland.
Yeah.
And the flakes of snow had the
They were the ashes of
the people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The ashes of the people that were in the crematorium. And he's saying to himself, how could people allow that to happen in Poland? And then he makes a connection about abortion. You can't miss it. So I just want you to make sure you listen to the whole homily, because this is the most passionate priest on a pro-life that I've ever heard. Mr. Engineer, play that clip.
How in the world did that happen? A Catholic. I'll tell you, if he wasn't Catholic, I probably wouldn't be so upset. He's a member of my family. He's the most powerful man in the world. And he is absolutely opposed to the basic understandings that God is the author of life. How in the world did this happen? You want an answer? I'll tell you the answer. Because our bishops have been silent for 60 years through bad catechesis and cowardice. They have barely said a thing. A few papers here and there. They speak of, there's things they could do. You say, well, why don't you do something? I'm just a little diocesan priest. I'm a grunt. They're the apostles. They have the voice. I just work for them at their privilege. They can get rid of me tomorrow.
Wow. Wow.
How have they allowed this to happen? What is it that they really believe? How poorly have they educated you?
Wow. I'm on the edge. Jess, every time I hear the whole thing, this guy had me, I'm like, I've been telling all my friends about this priest. I said, Jesse, do you know him? And Jess says, yeah, I know. He likes us. No surprise, Jess. He preaches like we do.
He's invited me to his parish a few times. He loves me to pieces. His name's Father William Costco. They call him Father Billy Costco. He's in Buckeye, Arizona. Terry, I'll be honest with you. This is kind of what I've seen. I've been here 5 years in this diocese.
Yeah.
This is the caliber of pastor under Bishop Olmsted in 17 years.
Yeah.
Father Billy Costco is basically the type of pastor that Bishop Olmsted has installed in all the parishes that I've been to.
Yeah.
And so what he's done, because he's got 10 months left, so a lot of us here in the Phoenix Diocese, we're like, oh, no. But I've talked to a lot of priests, like Father Billy, my pastor, a lot of them. They built, Bishop Olmsted has built a firewall in this diocese. Whoever comes over here and tries to start promoting Modernism 101, they're going to be in for the fight of their life, because every pastor that I've met is just like him.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of Catholics that move from California move to Buckeye because there's a lot of desert out there. And so he's at St. Henry's Parish. And Terry, he talked about being a young man in the U.S. Peace Corps.
That's right.
He attended this conference in Krakow, Poland,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
which he says was about 47 miles from Auschwitz. And, it's a horrific story, the way he shares.
Oh, God.
That they were able to see in July. He says in July it started snowing, but yeah, he knows it wasn't snow. It never snows in July anywhere. And the snow that was falling, he says it was the ashes from the crematoriums that were working overtime burning the bodies of the murdered dead Jewish people.
That's powerful.
And at that point, he starts challenging people, and he starts saying, how could people have tolerated this? They knew about this. He says, come on, people knew about the boxcars, with people in them and not coming back. And he says that happened 30 years ago when he was a young man. But now he makes a connection. He goes, now it's snowing with ashes in America of the innocent unborn.
Right.
Brothers and sisters, it's 30 years later, and it's still snowing outside. It's snowing with the ashes of the innocent unborn. More of them are being killed every year in the United States of America than the death camp of Auschwitz killed in its entire 5-year history, every year after year after year. Oh, it's snowing outside.
And I'm telling you, Terry, he has no qualms about calling out Job. I mean, he says he goes, he's part of the family of God. He's baptized.
Yep.
And on top of that, we've just recently elected a Catholic president, and he is Catholic. He's baptized. He is a member of the family. We've just elected a Catholic president who is diametrically opposed to all of the basic moral principles that are proclaimed by the Roman Catholic Church. Not only abortion and the sanctity of human life, but the sanctity of marriage and this gender silliness.
The U.S. bishops could stop this tomorrow, Terry. If all of them said, you are excommunicated for the Catholic Church, verbally and in letter and publicly, for advocating for the death of innocent babies called abortion. If the USCCB would do that, Terry, it would be like the Pope confronting, was it Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun? I mean, it makes them stop in their tracks, even these evil men and these evil barbarians, because when they start thinking, wow, this guy has authority and he's excommunicating me, that means if I die in this condition, I can go to hell. I'll tell you, I think this would shock the intellect and the heart of Joe Biden to the point where he may even have a conversion. But again, we need a thunderous voice like a Pope Gregory the Great or a Pope Leo the 13th or a Pope Pius the 10th to stand up to these rogue Catholic politicians, Terry.
And Jesse, he inspired me to stand up for Christ, especially for the unborn. He talks about being on that bus, as I mentioned earlier, where a young American woman was being accosted by a Polish gentleman who was drunk. And I won't tell you the story because I want you to listen to his whole homily. It's powerful. But here's what he said to me. What it said to me, he said, hey, man up. What are you going to do about the killing of unborn babies every day, every year? Thousands and thousands of babies, how many millions of babies we've lost, and we go to work as usual, business as usual. When are we going to stand up for the little ones? That's basically what he's saying to me. And I'm saying, dude, thank you, Father. I need that. You pricked my conscience to stand more up for the little babies because they're dying every day. And we're like, he made the analogy. Well, you say, how did those people put up with the crematoriums and not say anything and just the same way that we're staying quiet about abortion? Do you remember how I had last week, Jesse, a funeral here, and the people wanted me to take the sign down, 40 days for life. Pray to end abortion. That offends me. And I could have said, oh, well, man, you're a paying customer. Come on. We'll take this. We'll do whatever you say. I said, heck no. I said, the sign stays. I said, we have to stand up for life. That's what we believe. And the mortuary guy goes, you mean you're not going to take the sign down? I said, no. We got to stand up for life. And you know what the guy said after I talked to him, Jess? This is the funny part. He says, yeah, I guess we have to, even if it costs us money. I said, yeah, that's right. Even if it costs us our life, we have to stand up for life because, dude, you see death every day here. You're in the business. One day we're going to have an exit interview and we're going to have to defend our position on our life, on what life we lived. And the guy goes, oh man, Now you're really making me feel uncomfortable. I said, good. See, this is what this priest inspires us to do. Stand up and not be quiet. I mean, to be quiet amongst a slaughter of innocent children, we participate in that by our quietness. I just want to say you're blessed to have him in your diocese, and I'm going to ask him to come on the Bishop Strickland Hour like I did with Father Altman. If you remember, I brought him on the Bishop Strickland Hour. So this is the kind of priest that we need in the church. As Monsignor George Kelly said back in 1979, where's the church going? Where its leaders take them. That man, I would follow him into battle, Jess.
Yeah, he's he's got an incredible reputation out here. He inspires other priests as well. And I'll tell you, Terry, Catholics are just so poorly formed.
Yeah, they are.
In the church's teachings. And the same with Joe Biden and, Nancy Pelosi. They're poorly formed post-Vatican II Catholics.
Yep.
And they're, or what we would call low information Catholics.
Right. That's it.
And as a result of that, they actually think that you can be a Catholic and you can dissent with the official teachings of the church.
Yeah.
They actually believe that.
They do.
They believe in the Kennedy, John F. Kennedy principle of Catholicism, that you can be a Catholic in good standing and dissent with it. You can't, Terry.
Nope.
This isn't Baskin Robbins or Burger King, 31 flavors, or have it your way. And they're going to be very surprised, Terry, because in order to get to heaven, you must embrace truth.
Yep.
Like a pit bull embraces a piece of red meat, and you can't let it go. A lot of these Catholic politicians, Terry, they don't embrace truth. They embrace situation ethics, moral relativism, values clarification, whatever feels good for me, whatever's politically expedient. Boy, oh boy, are they going to be surprised at their exit interview if they don't repent.
No, they'll never take us under, because we're bringing truth like thunder. Raining on your speakers like a ton of bricks. Hold the cross high cause we're Catholics. Fight the good fight with the truth. Stand tall with the truth. I'm a warrior for Christ. I'm in love with the truth. Love God, save souls, slay